If you're talking sports, it's a matchup. Mickey Zizzy, yeah, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is, the Mickey Zizzy Podcast. Episode 5, Season 3. I mean, I know if you guys like to play a little drive right here, vroom, vroom. Bigger and better Mickey Zizzy Podcast brought to you by Pinnacle Supplementation. Of course, make sure you reach your pinnacle. Go ahead and check out pinnaclesup.com for all of your supplementation and wellness needs. I would be crazy not to shout them out, but also crazier to not shout out our man G for 3 out there, OBL League representing. Gave us a show, man. It's such a journey. It's so cool to see what's going on with him. Check him out on all of his social medias. I mean, I can throw all the tags up everywhere. I'll try my best to do so, but we got a lot to talk about. But of course, before we get into all of that, I got to introduce the man himself. Guys, we've been gone for a little bit. I know we're delayed. We got a lot to catch up on, but this guy next to me, get married. And this weekend was a great time celebrating him. So I'm going to pass it off to the main man, Mickey Hines.
All righty. Yes, it was absolutely amazing. We'll touch on that in just a little bit, but happy to be back on with you. We have so many different kind of sports we're actually going to be talking about today, since it's kind of our off season, since we're typically an NBA, NFL podcast, but we got to cover everything that we possibly can do. Super excited. And you also already shouted out Grant Anderson. I know he did lose in the first round in like kind of the one before he went and faced the 1 seed.
At 1 point, man. 1 point.
At 1 point, exactly. And he was just happy to be there. I mean, he had big banners of him, like with the posing with the basketball, with the OBL logo, and absolutely amazing. I mean, I see this on every other podcast and whatnot of Tracy McGrady sponsoring it, and it's just so cool. So shout out him as well.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's a lot to talk about. Like you said, we're gonna get into various stuff today. I mean, touch on a few different things, a few different sports, some debatable topics, some things that are honestly interesting. Honestly, the offseason on Mickey Zizzy Podcast turns up some debates, some hot takes. Typically, we'll see what we get into today. But of course, first things first, person of the week.
You already know I'm breaking rules. I mean, you already know what's about to go.
Yes.
No, it's got to be the boys. All the boys who came to celebrate the Bachelor and Bachelorette party for Haley and I. It was everything that we wanted. It was super fun. Definitely wild, but it was just a good time to see everyone. It was just one of those great things to catch up with everyone I haven't had to in a while, because I know we were all living in different states, eating off different plates, all that kind of jazz. But so cool to see everyone and see where everyone's come and their new adventures, new opportunities they're all taking, and super excited to see you all back in November when we finally it's gonna be super exciting. But shout out all y'all for making the trip and living it up in Iowa for a few days.
Absolutely, man. I could pay, and no amount of money in the world could make me like want to miss like that type of stuff, man. Like that stuff is so fun, such a good time. Like you said, with all of us being in different states, eating on different plates. you gotta show up when you can and just have fun with the boys and just reminisce, make new memories, do what we got to do, have fun. But I mean, for me, obviously, it's just going to be a continuation from this weekend. But I have multiple people to break the rules, but it would be specifically you, my man, and Haley, your soon-to-be bride. And I know she's sitting in the background out there. I know. But I'm just what a blessing, man. So happy to see you guys be happy. So happy to just see you, like literally physically see you,
right?
Outside of just being on Zoom and talking on the phone and stuff. So just a great time being back in Iowa, getting to chop it up again about all the stuff that we've done. I mean, we were there getting Snapchat memories of like stuff from 5-6 years ago. We're like, yeah, man, it's been a minute. So just cool to reminisce that. And again, make the new memories, have a great time. It was just get to leave the stress of work and stuff and all that behind for a few days and just enjoy being around everybody. So shout out to everyone that got to come out, and then appreciate just you guys getting this wedding. I've said it before, but I think for our group, like this is the wedding. Like it's the wedding where everyone's gonna be like kind of a part of it or get to experience it and just like see all of it, and everyone will be there that we want to be there. And it's just going to be so fun. It's such a great time. So let's hope that I don't end up the way I ended up at the wedding. Yeah.
No, a lot of good things. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to find those special people in your life that can celebrate some of the most happiest moments in your life. And that's what the opportunity I get to with some awesome people that we have definitely talked about here on the show and you've seen on any of our social medias. But it's just an awesome feeling to have that support system of the person, you know, who you're spending the rest of your life with. So super awesome. But yes, so
I will say though, some of those America Says questions got our ass. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, man. I felt like there were some teasers the night before where Haley was trying to set me up, bro.
Really was. But I mean, loved it. It was great. But we got to get to the.
Yes, we do.
We got to get to the toss. We got to get to everything. I mean, we've gone from the throat goat defending his title. I just want to give him out, Joey Chestnut.
Jesus.
Let's go break another record for most chicken tenders.
Right. Raising Cane's.
July 27th. They have a sign of it in Iowa, how big of a deal he is. I mean, not even close. He's undefeated. He was on one leg. He was on 1 foot beating these buffoons trying to come and beat him. They're like, oh, yeah, I placed third best eater in the world. Stop. Joey's still king. That's all you got to shout out there. I mean,
quick one. I mean, Joey Jaws, I got the red, white, and blue on. Shout him out July 4th, represent the month, you know, it's been a while. So, but yeah, I mean, the man is the throat goat. I mean, you can say that's a sus nickname, but I don't care what you want. That man is incredible. Joey Jaws Chestnut out there mid-dog knocking people over.
People
running and protest, like still putting on a strong arm, putting on a chokehold, put them down. And then still eat your dog.
And then dip the hot dog.
Yeah, dip and go. So
obviously that was huge. There's no debate there. I mean, end of our segment there. Joey Chestnut still be Joey Chestnut. That's one of the biggest things I look forward to.
How many is that? How many mustard belts now?
15, 18.
I want to say 15, but
yeah. Sorry, I put that in front of me. It's been a while. But next thing is probably the most recent news besides like SBs and all that kind of jazz. But the MLB All-Star Weekend was here, and we typically do not talk about the baseball sport as much. I'm trying to rep the gear, got to rep the Cubbies. We're not doing too well, but super awesome to see all the festivities. I mean, obviously, one of the best sounds of sports is a ball that gets hit and it's a home run ball. Like ding, like, oh, you know it's going yard. And the home run derby was honestly very, very good. Definitely takes on it.
I love the derby, man.
It's one of the best, baseball events, in my opinion. I mean, you had Albert Pujols, old man out there, 42.
Oldest contestant ever?
And he makes out the first round. Did Schwarber give it to him, like spoon feed it to him just for a legend? I mean, he went over, bowed down. Did he throw it? I mean, that's all
right. So I'm not going to say he threw that, but I mean, Pujols didn't put up a great performance, and then he came out and struggled. I don't know if it was like he looked like he was tense out there. You never know, but I don't know. It was kind of, but still, when they ended up being tied, and then Pujols goes and hits 7 home runs in 1 minute, like. He's still showing flashes
in overtime, but it shouldn't even gone into overtime or extra extra minute.
Yeah.
No, I do have a feeling deep down that Schwarber kind of gave it to him. I mean, gave a hint to he's one of the best. He was in the number 1 seed going into it. And
I mean, you know that everyone's there to see it if he does.
Oh yeah. No, that's just the thing. I mean, you have that storyline of Albert Pujols is going to go into the Hall of Fame of Major League Baseball. That's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So just for that, you know, for him to make it to the second round, everyone's like hyping him up, getting excited for him. His whole family was down there as well. I mean, that's one of the bigger storylines of it. But you don't think he threw it?
I really don't think that Schwarber threw it. I personally don't, because there was a few swings where he was like going, and you could like see it in his face, like he was nervous. It was like, I don't know if he was nervous because like, I don't know, it could have been influenced by something like that, or maybe he was like he just wasn't able to get in a rhythm, and he was like, I might actually lose this. Like you never know, because I mean, as much as it would be cool to see Pujols go to the second round, I'm a man of competitive nature. You're a man of, I ain't trying to lose.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to lose. I'm sorry. Pujols technically shouldn't really have been in the derby, but he did break a record.
is the first ever Derby player to advance past the first round 5 times. So there you go.
Yeah. And I mean, we could talk about, I mean, the other big debate we're going to have is about the formatting. I know that became a big issue of, oh, it's not as fun. Like you're used to like 10 balls being pitched and we just watch the ball, watch it. Wow. How far did that go? Now it's just boom, load and go. I mean, pitchers grabbing, going and seeing how many balls you can get. Honestly, I mean, it might be the younger individual that I am, but I like it. The more the merrier. Yeah, it kind of stinks. They're trying their best to track the flight of the ball and track how far it went and whatnot. But I just want to see how many dingers they can hit in the matter of like 3 minutes. I like the whole over 440 rule. What's your thoughts on that, Yank? Do you wish it would go back because it'd be easier or more suspenseful?
Well, it's not that like I want to sit here and say like I want to watch the flight path of the ball every time, but I miss when they had the 10 outs, or when they used where they used to do it by outs. So like I like the time format. I like how they do the bracket and all that, and the time formatting in a way to where it makes it to where the event is no longer like a 5-hour ordeal that you have to sit through. Like they get it going and you get excited, you get anxious, you're like, okay, is he gonna get there? Is you get like it's a race and it's cool. But at least maybe for the championship round, I would like to see them go back to the 10-out rule, or where it's just like, okay, it's not a matter of time anymore. Now it's just a matter of truly you hitting homers. Like if you hit it out, it counts. If you don't, it's an out. So if you hit 10 straight on the ground, you're done.
Hey, put us on the committee. We're about to change the rules of
right. Put us on. I got questions. Like why we get rid of that? So that would be my only change or suggestion to it. But aside from that, it is exciting, and it was way better than the NBA dunk contest this year. I can say that.
100%. And I'm an NBA guy. I know I get a lot of heat for it. Like, I don't like watching baseball. Like, it's personal opinion. Like, we said it on the podcast.
They call it America's pastime, so it's hard for some people to hear that.
Exactly. And just the great thing about it is, that home run derby was so exciting. You had, 30 home runs being hit. And I think that's just like I said earlier, younger person in me, like, I want to see a bunch of home runs. We hit 32 dingers. Just load.
Julio came out swinging, man.
No pun intended. Now we can talk about the rookie. He's 21 years old, 31 homers, and he went and beat Pete Alonso, who's deadlifting and being a sensei before. The 2-time home run derby champ trying to go for a 3-peat. And Julio said, nah. Seattle Mariners have they have a stud there.
Okay, they're not that big of a team that people are
right. I know, exactly. And that's the thing, but he's now the new face of this. He's the poster child. And he's only making $700K. So if he would have won the home run derby, he would have got paid more than his salary that year. Like, that's kind of bonkers. And he went off for, I think, 32 and then 31. Like, that's what the people want. People go to SportsCenter to watch home runs.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that he should have won the whole thing. It's hard to justify it sometimes when, like, you go out, you hit 62 homers in the first 2 rounds, but then it only matters what you do in the third round. Like, sometimes that hurts. I know it used to carry over in some of the old formats as well. So maybe another question to bring up. But, he came out. The first batter of the entire derby comes out was going to drop 32. Like, that set the tone.
Everyone was just third or second most all time.
And everyone was just like, okay.
But he also set my expectations. I was so ready for it. All right, run it up. Juan Soto, you go for 30 now. And it didn't. And I was kind of surprised. I'm like, I thought this was going to be on a regular, like 30 all around. But it didn't. And that was overall exciting. It gets the people talking. And
100%. And like you said, with Pete Alonso, he's going for not only would it be the most home run derby titles, like tied for the most with Ken Griffey, it would be 3 straight, like back to back to back. And I honestly think he probably was taking it. He put a little bit too much, like he took it a little too seriously. Like put too much pressure on himself. Like he's out there. Yeah, right. Like out here meditating and like deadlifting and like literally wasn't even talking to the media or other people. He was just like going straight to the dugout, coming out. Like you could tell every time the camera was on him. Like he wanted it. And I get that. But you gotta loosen up and have some fun with it. If you don't, if you're coming to anything and you're like just that uptight about it, I don't know. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, he put out a respectable performance. He still hit 25. So I mean,
yeah. Let me double check here. Yeah, 24 in the second round.
Yeah, 25. I mean, 24 is a respectable number in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever the timer was. Like, pretty much nobody else even reached that number. But I mean, he comes out and drops 31 in that round. It is what it is. But I'm sure he'll be back next season.
Yeah. He wants that third one, but just some also other things. I mean, you had the All-Star game. You also had I actually had an opportunity to watch when Cheyenne was here. Shout out him. I know he's listening, but the celebrity softball game was awesome.
I didn't watch it. You
really missed out. I mean, you had The Miz, who's from WWE. He was the MVP. He was hitting dingers. They had some LA Dodger retiree go and just hit bombs, 3 home runs. That's kind of unfair. You also had JoJo Siwa hit it inside the park home run.
Let's go!
And oh my god, it was hilarious.
That's actually cool.
Just the best thing was seeing Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle. He was the dad, or from Breaking Bad. He took it so seriously, and I want to say it right now, live on the podcast. If I do not look like him when I am his age, with the big old white beard and the hair white, just looking like a man, I have failed in life. I looked at him, I'm like, that is me when I'm a grandpa, and me and Haley are sitting on the front porch. If I don't look like him, nope. I didn't succeed.
I was saying it this weekend, bro, if you can just keep the hair, it don't matter, because if you went all gray, it would look so cool.
Ben for gray? Nah, I don't want that. But it was a great MLB All-Star Weekend. I mean, shoot, we've got us talking a long time about it, and we only talked about 2 of the things. So, I mean, anything else that you had takeaways from the All-Star Weekend?
No, I mean, just cool, like you said, to see Pujols, and I mean, I feel like this is the victory tour of the last hurrah for this whole season. And it's cool. He's only 5-6 home runs away from 700 in his career, so we get to watch and see if he can do that this season, and he might be able to. And just otherwise, I mean, who was the eventual champion? Was it Soto?
Yeah, Juan Soto, who's about to get paid $440 million.
Yeah, and I mean, he gets the payday. The Dominican Republic gets represented. It was all around just a good time. It was a great show, and really, really enjoyed watching.
Oh yeah. Now, moving on with it, Yank, we have some other big news that legit, if you just turn on SportsCenter or First Take or any other big sports media, Kevin
All of them.
I mean, I'm almost getting tired of it because nothing's happened. Everyone's like, possible trade. Yank, hot take, Kevin Durant ain't going anywhere. He got his name in every single paper, every single sports podcast, and so. He ain't going anywhere. It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And
about that, I think it was
I'm just done.
June 30th, he asked for the requested trade.
And here we are, still nothing. I know people are like, oh, maybe the Suns. Oh, maybe someone said the Celtics. I'm like, yeah, it would be really cool, but we have to give up Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Derek White, and so many other picks. I'm like, no, keep the squad. I heard, the whole Kyrie drama as well. I mean, Yank, do you think he's actually leaving?
I do not. I don't. I actually don't even think he wants to be traded. I think that's my take completely. I think that this was a stunt to just put pressure on the Nets in some capacity, because think about it. This whole time, right? This whole time he's been here in Brooklyn, he has done nothing but defend the one person that everyone wants to come at, Kyrie Irving. He has done nothing but support him. Says he's one of the best players in the league, defends him, doesn't ever come out and trash him or say that he's mad about any things that he's doing, regardless if he is or not. He has every right to be if he is, but doesn't say anything like that. And then the moment that the Nets do not go and give Kyrie the contract extension that he wanted, length, size, money, obviously the whole shebang. A day or two later, he asked for a trade. Does he really want out? Is he really fed up? Or is he just basically
not tired of Kyrie, who
basically like an FU, all right, well then you guys just aren't going to take care of your people. All right, I'm out of here. Or it's him saying, if you're not gonna pay Kyrie or if you're not gonna figure out something out for us, like we gotta move on. We gotta figure. I don't know. I think it's like
worth all that money. No,
I don't know. It's like a leverage card. I don't know.
Your take here, I see no leverage for Kyrie. If Kyrie's been balling and he's been putting up numbers, I mean, he played only half the games last year. You don't even know if your man's going to show up in the locker room.
How is that not showing leverage for Kyrie, though?
But why would you want to play with that? You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Durant.
You can't tell me that when he's not on the court, he's not still a
I said when he plays, he's great. I mean, back in the Cleveland days, I mean, he still has, I mean, if not better from what he was. Better shooter, all that kind of jazz, better ball handling. But you got to play, Yank. And I think that's the thing, Kevin Durant.
I'm not saying that isn't wrong. That's 100% true. But think about it. Everyone has said that. Who hasn't said that?
I'm just saying.
Kevin Durant.
Exactly.
He hasn't said that.
Oh, cool. He's like, all right, I'm gonna sell my boy. I'm never gonna be the one.
That's a hell of a teammate. Whether it's a teammate thing and that's all he's trying to be is just a great teammate, or whether he actually like feels like it's indifferent to him, or that is something like, no, bro, like that's my boy. Like you need to take care of him. That's why I say him asking for this trade in a way is just it's a leverage on them. It's like, hey, if you do not pay Kyrie or keep Kyrie around, I want out. Like that's how I can see it in a way. So it's basically telling them like, hey, if you want me to play for the Brooklyn Nets, you take care of Kyrie Irving. That's my take. It's a stretch, but it's my take.
It is a stretch. And I just see, I mean, Katie is obviously, they're great friends. They played on the Olympic team together, if I'm not mistaken. They're boys. I mean, they wanted to play together. That's the reason why they came to Brooklyn. I mean, Katie was a toenail away from winning a championship by himself. And then Kyrie and them play. They get swept by Boston. Okay, didn't go so well, but they also had the James Harden drama. They also have Ben Simmons still sitting on their bench. I mean, obviously, you got to run it back. I still don't think he's leaving. I think he's going to try to run it back. But for the whole leverage thing, trying to get Kyrie paid, I think that's kind of a stretch. Now, Kyrie plays 70 games. Give him the max, not a super max, but like give him the next 4 years. But you got to prove it to me. You got to prove it on the court.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what he does.
Sign another contract.
I'm interested to see what he does next season. So
100%. And we just talked about the trade that hasn't happened. Now let's talk about the trade that did happen and got the people talking.
Right. Oh my! We've been waiting for this one.
We have. And you know what? I woke up, I'm feeling dangerous. And Baker Mayfield looking good in the blue.
Pretenders?
For what?
Pretenders.
Oh, pretenders for the Panthers? Oh,
no,
come on.
I was talking about when Baker walked around with that sign.
Oh, got it. But there's going to be no better storyline than the team that went and signed Deshaun Watson for dumb money and for a guy who hasn't played and who has all these allegations, who went and paid this guy because he had one bad year. Yeah, he had his career worst. He drafted 5 years ago. He had his worst year, okay? You can obviously come back from that.
Yeah, that was his
it was
third
in 2018. I think this was fourth year because this was going to be his big year to sign a big contract. Mm-hmm. They don't sign you. They go get a guy who has all these allegations, who hasn't played. We've seen what happened to quarterbacks when you don't play for a year, Yank. You're not the same, and they're going to pay this guy. So I'm already a little sold about that. Can you imagine how Baker feels? And then you're going to go to a team that plays the Browns week 1, and the Browns haven't won the week 1 matchup since 2004. Oh, you see the videos of when Baker's at Oklahoma and they started talking some trash against the sideline? I want all that energy. Like that game is the game I'll be looking forward to. You've had some Baker slander here on the podcast. How'd you feel about it?
I love Baker Mayfield as a person. I think that sometimes he just needs to keep his emotions in check. But I love the hype, the attitude on the field. Like you said, like I really hope the Browns are going to pay this man over $300,000 to try and kick their ass on Sunday in week 1. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that. It's going to be really, really cool. But for the fact that, like, Baker's got to be the starter, right? Like he's got to be. I know they're saying open competition between him and Darnold, but
Baker's winning.
Baker's got to win that, in my opinion. And so him coming out to Carolina, fresh team, fresh start, gets away from that situation with Cleveland, which I mean, I disagree with one part of your take, which is just the Deshaun Watson trade. I don't think he might not be the exact same, but he will shake off the rust quickly, in my opinion. I think he will be returned to the same player he was within sometime within this season if he plays, forbidding any suspension and stuff like that. But I mean, Baker needed to get out of that situation. He did. He goes to Carolina, where he has a very solid chance of winning a starting spot. He's going to get paid to go play that same team that traded him in week 1. The amount of hype around this guy, I mean, this is his chance to save his career. And the guy isn't that bad of a player. He had one bad season last year. And a lot of that season, he was injured. A lot of people want to forget that. He had a horrible shoulder injury that required surgery in this offseason. He was playing through that. And for him and then what did he do the year before that? Took the Browns, who had not been in the playoffs in how many years? That had what? Over 20 starting quarterbacks since 2000.
Yeah,
2000. Like, by far the most out of any franchise. And then he shows up, wins like half of his games as a rookie after getting thrown in the middle of the year. The next year, 2 years ago, they're in the playoffs.
Yep.
They win a divisional round, or they win a wild card game. Their first playoff win in decades. And then they go in the divisional round, and they've come within, I don't know, a possession of beating the Kansas City Chiefs. I know Patrick Mahomes got hurt in that game and Chad Henne came in late, but still, like, they were there. And so people forgot about that real quick because of last season. And I think there's a lot more to Baker Mayfield. I was talking slander last year because man just needed to sit down, get away from the media, stop talking, doing all this stuff, trying to put this team on his shoulders that really he had no shoulders to do it on. He literally was missing a shoulder, bro. I'm excited to see what he can do though with a new opportunity.
Yeah, and people are going to listen to this and be like, oh, but the Browns were such a good team. Yes, they had Chubb. Yes, they were balling out this and that, right? But on the flip side, Yank, like, he was injured. He still played really well. They have an awesome defense. I totally get it, right? And they just want to go and do him so dirty like that. I just can't believe it. So let's go to look at Carolina. They got Christian McCaffrey, which is he going to play? I don't know. He has the injury bug. I hope he does. I mean, people are really hyping him up. Robbie Anderson said he didn't want Baker Mayfield, so that's going to be a little trouble in the film room for that. But the Panthers are on a brisk of something. All right, they might go 500 or make the playoffs, as that 6th seed, and that's something to look out for. I mean, they're definitely going to be fighting. They're going to be in a tough division, but at the same time, the Saints are going to be the Saints. Jameis Winston might come back, but they're still a little battling stuff. Michael Thomas might be back. A lot of question marks there. Bucks are going to be the Bucks, and you still have the Falcons, which the Falcons ain't much. Sorry. So the Panthers have a not as strong division as they had in the past. That's a great time for Baker to win a starting spot against Sam Darnold, who's a good quarterback.
And they'll have weapons around. I mean, he's got DJ Moore out there, receiver. He's got a line that's decent. CMC. I mean, he's coming off an injury-prone year, but if he plays the way that he's always played, I mean, come on, man. He's got pieces.
He really does, and I'm just so excited to watch Baker ball. I mean, that week 1 matchup is going to be electric.
That's got to be the game of the week 1.
Oh, 100%, just because of the drama it's going to bring in. And if Watson is suspended, I think he's supposed to be suspended from 2 to 7 games, who's their starting quarterback throwing the ball?
Right. Oh, my God.
Nobody. And
I don't even
know. Another name to add to the list of that really long jersey. But, I mean, what's your take? Week 1, Baker winning the dub or what?
I actually think the Panthers win that game. Yes, I do. Because I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to be playing either. So that's just
100% agree.
That's my take.
Put it on the bet slip. We're going with it. Now, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. That when that first all surfaced on the media, I was like, oh, yeah, here we go, Baker. I've never been like the hugest Baker fan. I'm not going to go watch every one of his games, but I like him. I definitely do. I like his style of play. I like his swagger and whatnot. So I'll definitely be excited to watch some Panthers games for Baker. Now, last thing, I mean, our Zoom call's getting here real nice if you look up there. But I mean, anything else, any other hot topics? I mean, we've been covering a lot here. Super excited to talk about all the big events.
We talked about, well, I mean, obviously I know the SBs and stuff was going on tonight. I mean, we'll recap that in the future, but I wasn't even sure. I know that the NCAA, the mega conferences, man, NCAA mega conferences, that is the biggest thing. All these teams that are swapping from one conference, like, I don't even know what to think of it anymore. Personally, my take on it is that I don't like it. They're making three major power conferences. There's no longer tradition. You're going to miss out on some of the key matchups that you've always had. You've got teams on the West Coast that are now in the same division as teams in the Northeast. Like it doesn't make sense to me. It's not college football in a way, and it's people just taking advantage of the money stuff, which I get. Like, and pay the players, all that. I'm all for the new legislation, but I do not understand the formation of the mega conferences as a fan. Like, I just personally don't like it. It's not like it's a huge deal, and a lot of people it's not, but I mean, I don't like it.
I 100% agree. And I've had a lot of debates with other people like, oh, it's going to be so good for TV broadcasting. I understand you're trying to make more money as a college for your sports, and you're trying to get highlighted on that. You know, the Big Ten, SEC pretty much run the TV broadcasting. But all the things you just said are completely right. You're going to have these 24-team conferences. Who's going to win? You're not going to get any other titles. I mean, it takes pride to win the Pac-12, to win the MAC, to win the Sun Belt. You win all these, it's less champions you're going to give and less opportunities for these players who can't go start for Alabama or Clemson or Ohio State, a chance to become a champion. Then you go on the flip side with the rivals. You're going to miss out on those rivalries. You're going to miss out on those amazing games.
That's the most upsetting thing.
Exactly.
Sure.
And now we're going to have like UCLA coming into the Big Ten, and that's across the Big Ten is the Midwest. If you look at their cool little map, what they do for their like promotions and commercials, it's the colleges come up with the big symbol and with their mascot. And it goes like mainly through the Midwest. I know Rutgers and Maryland over there, but like that's perfect. Now you're going to add UCLA way over there. Like, that's not conference. How conferences work is who's around you.
Yeah.
It hurts. I don't want to see it. I understand schools are trying to get those bigger matchups, then schedule them for your out of conference, right? If you're so-and-so, like, and you want Bama, go schedule them. They will most likely play you. But all the champions, like, and you're going to see it in every sport. Like, now it's only going to be, oh, guess what? UCLA, you're going to come into the Big Ten. Well, you ain't going to win wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these teams aren't going to stand a chance when it comes to like certain conferences and certain
sports. They'll get their money.
No, it's all a money deal. It's all TV deals and stuff like that. That's why they're doing it. We all know this. But the biggest thing, though, is going to be like on the backhand, like the impact on the playoff. I mean, what are they going to do now? Because now you're going to have all these teams in these major conferences. Like you said, there's going to be less champions, less people that even have the opportunity to win a championship. You almost have to expand the playoff now. And I mean, that's a cool thing. If any positive comes out of it, that would be cool.
I don't like the expansion of the playoff, but
I actually do. I feel like
taking away from bowl games.
I feel like they've needed to do that for a long time. But at the same time, like, a lot of people would agree with me, and a lot of people just, I mean, why not? I mean, you have less opportunity to do things elsewhere. Give them that opportunity now.
I mean, that's a whole nother debate for another day about the expansion, but going back, just this huge merger, it's just taken so many opportunities for other schools to be successful in their own realm. I mean, there's no way Bowling Green is going to come to the Big Ten if, you know, this huge merger happened, and they're not going to compete. It's just going to stink because, they'll get their TV. And I know I'm kind of going around here beating a dead horse, but it just thinks that it's all about money and not about the athletes performing on their nights. Like MACtion, I'm watching a lot of Tuesday night football because that's the only night it's not on. And MACtion, the MAC plays on Tuesdays a lot. I'm ready to watch it. And obviously,
hungry, man. We 50 days away. We hungry.
We are very hungry. But Yank, I don't ship it. I don't sign off on it. If I was a athletic director, I'm saying, nope, I want to stay in mind to keep the tradition, all that kind of jazz. And I hope
Dabo Sweeney said it best this morning when he was doing interviews. Like, he loves the game, but he loves it for the players and he loves it for the representation and marketing and all that. But you lose tradition, and sometimes things are about tradition.
100%. Now, Yank, we have circled so many sports, and that's the beauty of some.
I love it when we do this, man.
Oh yeah, and we'll be definitely hitting some more bigger topics. I know NIL is coming up here on the on deck here to talk about here in the near future before we get hard hitting into football. And I know we're talking about specific teams, specific conferences. We're gonna keep on rolling. We have some exciting things planned ahead, more interviews. Make sure you go blow up the YouTube channel and or listen on Spotify. That's how we do it. Anchor. But my last hot take: Baker Mayfield wins Week 1, easy dub by 14 or more.
Oh, sign me on to that. We can double that hot take right now. Baker Mayfield is going to come
Double
out
down.
and be electric. He's going to be grabbing his crotch on the sidelines, doing everything that he did back at Oklahoma. Oh, shake your hand. Oh, okay. Like, it's coming, man. I'm telling you, it's coming, and I'm all for it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I hope they don't shake hands. Like, just add fuel to the fire. Come on.
Add to it. I hope Deshaun does play, and he still comes out and whoops it.
Ooh. Alrighty.
If you're talking sports, it's the matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy. Yeah, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is. The Mickey Zizzy Podcast. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.